Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another client success interview. Today we have Zakk Rana on the line, calling in from England, and he's doing a 3-week travel sprint. I guess just traveling the world. But recently, he just went full time with his online coaching business, and now he's going to be, pretty much living the life of his dreams, helping people. So I want to bring him here to talk about his story. I believe you were a school teacher, correct?
That's right. Yeah.
Perfect. And now you're full time online working for yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's crazy, bro, to think I joined the program, like 5 or so months ago with like that idea. I think I talked to you about it then. And yeah, it's like making those dreams a reality is just insane. Like I wanted to have location freedom because, being a teacher, you're very tied down with like hours. Like my schedule was crazy. I didn't have time freedom. I didn't have location freedom. And I really wanted both of those things. And now I have it, which is pretty awesome.
Beautiful, man. Beautiful. Well, let's start from the beginning, man. What got you into teaching and what was that experience like? And how did that lead into online coaching?
Yeah, absolutely. Originally, I studied pre med and I was a chemistry major. And sort of like my side passion was fitness and wellness. I had done track in high school. And so I wanted like some sort of like sports outlet. Once I stopped like competing in sports, I wanted some sort of, thing to keep me going. And so I fell in love with the gym, with training, with like learning about nutrition and like optimizing every single aspect of it. And then, I was like watching a lot of bodybuilders on YouTube and like, seeing their process of like how they competed. But really at the time, it was just to learn about, oh, what's a lat pull down? Like, how do I even do that? But then once I got the hang of those things, then it was like, oh, wow, the discipline that they take to do those things is really inspiring. And like, I kind of want to try it. And so I did my first bodybuilding competition 2 years ago, hired a coach myself, learned a ton more about nutrition. I thought I knew about nutrition, but competing was like a whole different level of like learning how to optimize every single detail and make my body, look crazy. And yeah, I think like that was sort of the fitness journey. And then the teaching journey was happening at the same time. Like I said, I was pre med and I did a program called Teach for America as sort of like a gap year sort of thing. And I ended up loving teaching. I love like sharing, knowledge with others and seeing like the kids have that like aha moment of like, oh, I get it now. And so that was really exciting. I love the community. And so, yeah, so teaching was kind of like this thing that, I kept building and kept building the fitness on the side as well. And I taught for 4 years. By about 6 months ago was kind of when I was like, okay, I got the hang of teaching now. I've taught the same subject for the past 4 years. It was getting kind of boring, just like intellectually, because like you teach the same lesson 5 times per year. So I'd taught each lesson 20 times. And I was like, intellectually, I got like, this is not challenging me anymore. I love the kids. I still love the kids. But that part of it was just like, getting to be boring. And so I was like, I want a new challenge. I want to start something. And yeah,
I love it. No, I love it. I love it.
yeah.
So how old were you when you decided that you were going to do your first competition? Like how recent was this for you?
That was 2 years ago.
2 years
Yeah,
ago.
2 years of my first show. Yeah.
And how old were you when you first started your fitness journey?
17.
17. And how old are you
Yeah,
now?
26.
Okay, so you were lifting in for a while in the gym, just kind of, doing things self-taught, and then you decided to do a competition 2 years ago, and that's when you learned a lot of the stuff. And was it that moment then that you decided that, hey, I really want to try, coaching, I really want to try online coaching, or what was the moment where you realized that, oh, I want to try this, and this is the new challenge?
That's a good question. No, it wasn't even after that competition because I think like I just didn't even realize that that was something other people wanted. Like I didn't even recognize that I had like a skill set that was valuable, because I hadn't been building it up to like eventually monetize it. I had just been building it up because I loved it and I was just like hungry for more. Like I just wanted to learn every single, little detail that I could. And I was and still consider myself a content creator. And so I was like, I had a YouTube channel going and I was like kind of learning how to use Instagram, but not really as good at that. And so I documented the whole journey just for the sake of documenting it. Again, had no idea what kind of base that would build me to later on monetize. But yeah, I just was following my passions. I was like, this is stuff that I love and I'm just going to do what I love and just keep following that kind of.
I love that, dude. I actually did the same thing. So coming out of high school, I knew that I wanted to be a personal trainer and I knew
Yeah.
that I wanted to do something with social media. I love creating content. I love fitness. I love documenting my journey. And I didn't exactly have any skill sets with business to know how to monetize it or turn it into a career, but I just knew I loved social media. So for, I think think 4 years, I just focused on building my platform, building my presence. And when I was ready to launch the business, the audience was already there, which for a lot of people is kind of, it's kind of backwards. They launch the business with no audience, and that can be a little tough. It's not impossible, but doing the work to build the audience is it definitely works. And to be honest, you don't need that much. Like there's a couple thousand followers, maybe 1,000, 2,000 followers is good enough. So tell me about your content creation days. What was your strategy? What did you get your YouTube up to? And how did that serve you when you launched your business?
Yeah, when I started my YouTube channel, there was no strategy at all. And I think like when I look back on a lot of things in my life, that's kind of how they started was I would just start something because I thought it was cool and kind of to see how I liked it. And then as I like went along, then like more, sort of strategy came into it. And so yeah, it was the same with my YouTube channel. It was kind of like I was watching all these bodybuilder YouTubers and I was like, they always would say, there was like, guys, there's nothing special about me. Like if I'm just a regular person, if I could do this, you can do it. And so I was like, oh, okay, well then I'm just gonna do it and let's see what happens, And like, of course, like people made fun of me and they're like, what are you doing? Like, why are you vlogging? Like, whatever, that's cringe or whatever. But I was like, I don't care, I like it. And then eventually, like, people started to support me in it. We're like, oh yeah, you're like, I started to get the identity of like, oh yeah, you're a YouTuber. It's kind of the same with bodybuilding. It's like when I first started lifting, everyone was like, dude, you don't even look like you work out. And like, but then eventually, like now everybody introduces me as like, oh yeah, he's a bodybuilder type of thing. I feel like that's true with anything in life. If you just like start doing it, eventually, like that identity will take on. But yeah, in terms of the strategy now, I think it's kind of been like, okay, like let me like document the journey, but then also share the things that I've learned and provide as much value as possible. I just really want it to be something where, people can come and be like, oh, dang, this guy actually like knows what he's talking about and has like the experience to back it up.
I love that, man. Where did the confidence come from to put yourself out there and not really care about what other people think? Because I feel like there's a big thing that holds people back is the content creation. They're just so stuck on creating content. Maybe they feel cringe filming themselves in the gym. Maybe they feel cringe putting themselves on camera. So what was that process like for you as you were learning to put yourself out there? What was your mindset behind it?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think that's so like in this day and age of technology and everything, I feel like that's so important and so relevant because I think that everybody should have an online presence. Like that's like our reputations almost, like you can have a reputation online and just use that every time you meet someone new, which I think is really cool. But yeah, in terms of like building the confidence, I definitely would say that like it wasn't something that I just was like born with. Like that's I don't know, maybe you can relate to this too of like, whenever like you start anything, it's not like you're immediately good at it or you're immediately like super confident about it. It's just like taking action is just what it's about. And I feel like, yeah, with content, like I was super, super nervous to publish my first YouTube video. Like I was so just like terrified, but then I was like, what, just whatever. Like I'm just going to do it. It helped to get like some positive feedback, definitely. But I think just overall, I guess there's one thing that I learned from just like reading books is like the idea of like the spotlight effect, where like, we think that there's like this giant spotlight on us and everyone is watching us, like for example, if I'm like vlogging in public, I used to like, just like never want to take my camera out in front of anyone. But then I thought about it and I was like, have I seen other people take out their camera in front of me? Yes. But like, I only think about it for like 5 seconds. I'm like, oh, haha, they're making a vlog right now or whatever. And then I move on with my life because like, who cares? You know what I mean? And like in reality, most people are not even going to notice what you're doing or care. And like the one person that does care, they have their own issues going on they're projecting onto you. It's not even about what you're doing. It's like it's something that they need to work through. And I think that that's kind of helped me like not take things personally because like I mean I have gotten hate, online and stuff, and it's just like it helps to know like I almost like feel bad for that person because I'm like, how negative of a space do you have to be in to like want to attack someone you don't know on the internet? Like what? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. That's kind of how I deal with it.
No, my thought process behind it was always at the end of the day, what am I going to regret more? Taking my camera out and doing what I need to do or not doing the thing I need to do to please people who don't even know me, right?
Exactly.
That always helped me get through it in the moment because at the end of the day, I'm either going to regret not doing it or I'm going to be proud that I did it. And I would always think about the night of and think, okay, I just need to make myself proud today. So let's talk about launching your business and getting your first few clients. I believe you said you have 14 clients now. Is that correct?
I'm at 11, but yeah.
11. Okay. So what was your process for getting your first few clients? How did you sign them? What is your process for client acquisition now? And, give us the tips, give us the good stuff.
Oh yeah. This is really where PTBI comes in because like, I mean, like I said, I've been doing a lot of like the setting myself up for success on my own. But I had zero business knowledge, like literally zero. I'd read a few books. I still am really into like self-development and improvement. And so I'd read a lot of books about like self-discipline, mindfulness, all these different topics. And like common thread among all the writers of these books was that they were entrepreneurs. And I was like, this is like crazy. This is kind of cool. It almost like took me back to like the YouTube bodybuilder days where like I was watching bodybuilder YouTubers and then I was like, oh wait, what if I do a bodybuilding competition? I'm like watching all these people who are super successful in different arenas of life. I'm like, oh, what if I start a business? Like, what does that even look like? And so I would say maybe for like the past 2 years, I knew in my mind that at some point in my life, I wanted to start a business, but I didn't know what. And I was like, I don't know what skills I have to offer. I don't know what, niche market I want to target, any of that stuff. And so PTBI really gave me like the framework and like the skills and the mindset that I needed. So when I say framework, I mean like, how do I actually deliver this? Because I'd even, without me doing any sort of lead generation or anything, I've actually like had people reach out and ask for coaching in the past, and I had zero idea what I was doing. I sold someone like, I think it was like a nutrition and workout plan for $100, and it was a one-time thing. I sent them like some documents and like that was it. And then like I never, like I didn't realize I could monetize accountability, I could monetize mindset coaching, and that in reality, like that's what people needed. They don't need the workout or nutrition program because realistically, you can find those online either for free or for really cheap. What they need is the accountability to actually see it through and to actually get them results. So yeah, I think like part of it was like learning the systems to, kind of develop that. It was like, okay, I have all of this background knowledge now, 7 years of lifting experience, competed in 2 shows. Like I know what I'm doing from that aspect of fitness, but now how do I turn it into a business? So step one was, what does my back end process look like? Getting a welcome email was super helpful. Like getting, learning how to use Trainerize. I'd never heard of Trainerize before. Learning how to build out the workouts. It's like, it's one thing to know all the names of exercises and everything, but it's a whole nother to have an app that sends them to clients and know exactly how to build it out, how to communicate with them, how to hold them accountable, all of that stuff. So yeah, that was sort of the back end process. And then the more front end process was, okay, so I have people that are interested. How do I package my offer and sell it? I was like, I am not a salesman. Like I don't do sales. Like, ew, like that's sleazy. Like I don't do that stuff. And I'm not just here to make a quick buck off of someone or, these are all mindsets that I had. And like PTBI also helped me realize A, that those were severely limiting beliefs. And B, like, if you want to be a successful entrepreneur, you need to learn how to sell. And that selling is actually not a bad thing. It's a service. You're literally serving other people and pushing them to believe in themselves. And so, yeah, I think that kind of was, I guess, the process that I've been using. Did that kind of answer?
I always describe it as everyone who joins PTBI, before they actually join, they have a piece of the quilt, right? Imagine when you have a quilt and you're like, okay, I got this piece over here, I have this piece over here, and I have this piece over here, but I don't know how to stitch it together to make a blanket. And I also know I'm missing pieces too. And so oftentimes it's just one or two missing pieces and putting it in order, like everything click and you can hit the ground running. So I'm glad that we were able to provide that for you. And I'm really happy to hear about the mindset shift around sales. I used to feel the same way, dude. I used to hate sales. I'm naturally an introverted person. I can speak to people in public settings, but it's a challenge for me and I have to kind of turn it on. So sales didn't come naturally. But once I learned that, oh shit, selling, people actually want to be sold and people actually want help, then everything changed. But now, dude, you're traveling, you're not going to be going back to teaching this year. What was that process like to finally say, damn, I set the goal and I hit the goal and now I'm not going back? So what does that feel like?
Oh man, bro, it's like it's literally the craziest feeling ever. And like I feel so much gratitude to you and the team because like I remember, and I'm gonna share this story for the video, is like the day that I committed to PTBI, I couldn't sleep. And the next day I called you and I was like, bro, I don't think I could do this. Like this is too much, like, it's a lot. Cause I like opened the course and I was like overwhelmed. I was like, oh my gosh, like there's so much in here. There's so much, to learn. I don't have time. Like I can't do it. And you were like, bro, relax, just do it like, day by day, take your time, step by step. And like, to go from where I was in January to where I am now is just like insane looking back. I'm so grateful. I'm so excited for, what the future holds. And I think like, yeah, that's kind of the feelings right
I
now.
love it, dude. I do remember that because I remember hopping on a call. I didn't remember that the specific reason was because you're feeling overwhelmed. A lot of people feel that when they first get started, but I think, and I'm gonna share what I shared with you that day that I called you, is a lot of people feel overwhelmed, and oftentimes it's because they don't give themselves enough time to be successful. successful. You're here 7 months later. You joined in January. It's now July. That's 7 months, man. It didn't happen in 1 month. It didn't happen in 2 months. It didn't even happen in 3 months, which is why I like when people have 6 to 12 month long success stories because that's realistic. And you're a walking example of that. So I'm super stoked for you, man. So we're halfway through 2020. It's 2023, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still back in
I know,
2022.
right?
Halfway into 2023. What does the rest of the year look like for you? What are your goals? What are your intentions? What are you looking to achieve and build going into 2024?
Oh yeah. So I have a lot of different like ideas, but then I also have like specific goals. So I guess like my specific goals that I'm working on currently is like I just want to bring as many people onto my roster as possible and help as many people as I can. And I think like where I'm at now versus like maybe 3 to 4 months ago when I was signing my first clients is like now I have results. And so that's like made my confidence like skyrocket because now I'm like, you guys like need my program. Like I will literally change your life because I've changed other people's lives already. And like that's such a crazy feeling because, at first it was like, okay, like I'm betting on myself and I think this could work. But now it's like, no, I know this could work and it's like, and it's going to help people. And so I think like I'm in the mindset now of like, I just want to help as many people as I can. And so that just means like getting in front of more people, having more conversations, having more calls. Like I think just the more that I do that, I think from the business side of things, the more I'll get comfortable with sales and with, all the other aspects of it. And the more I've coached people, I feel like the better I'm getting as a coach, which is also exciting because that's like a cool skill set to be developing as well. So yeah, I think in these next 6 months, it's really just like continue to lock down my content creation process, use that to like, generate leads, have conversations with people. I say like have conversations because that's really all it is like, it's literally just, I'm just getting to know people and seeing where they're at and what they're trying to do. And if it happens that, what I offer is something that would help them, then it's like, boom, like let's work together kind of thing. So yeah, ideally, like by the end of the year, if I could fill my roster to like 30 people, I think that would be really, really exciting for me. And then, kind of go from there in terms of expansion and stuff. But I just got to keep reminding myself it little by little, day by day, focus on the key drivers that are going to move my business forward.
I love it, man. I have no doubt in my mind that you can get to 30 clients. You've gotten 11 while working a full-time job. I can't wait to see what you can do going all in on your business. It's going to be super easy for you, man. I'm excited. We're running out of time here, so I want to make sure that the people can give you a follow. So where can people follow you online?
Sure. Yeah, my Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, everything is at Zakk Rana 1.
I said you got a threads too now or what?
A threads. I do have a threads. I just got one. Yep.
Perfect, man. Thank you so much. Any last words of advice for anyone who's looking to go full time?
Let's see. Yeah. I do have, yeah, I think the one thing that I gotta say is like believe in yourself. Like literally, life's too short not to. And like, even if you fail, at least you'll like look back at the end of your life and be like, well, at least I tried. You know what I mean? Like, I never want to have that voice in the back of my head that's like, oh, well, what if I had tried, But like, believe in yourself. Find people also that support you and want you to succeed too, because that's going to make it less likely that you fail. You know what I mean? Long term. So yeah, I'm excited for the future. I hope that this video shows other people that, you can do it. Even if you have like a full-time job or you have like a lot of time commitments, if you do a little bit day by day working towards your dream, like you can make it come true.
I love it. Super inspirational, man. Thank you so much for the words of advice. Can't wait to see where you go by the end of the year.
Hell yeah. All right.